Week 13 Monday Night Football. The matchup is great. Josh Allen and the AFC East leading Bills taking on the 49ers, still in the hunt in the NFC playoffs. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN and ABC as well this week. ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Time here now to make the case for Defensive Player of the Year. It looks like it could be a two-man race. TJ Watt has been nothing short of sensational, leading the league in both pass rush win rate and sacks this season. But don't count out Aaron Donald, who ranks second in both pressures and sacks this season, despite being double-teamed on 67% of his pass rush snaps. For comparison's sake, Watt is being double-teamed on 14% of his pass rush snaps, clearly both playing at an unbelievable level. So Ryan Clark tweeted this yesterday. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year? I'd say so. Nina responding with an Aaron Donald gif. So that brings us here with these two. Mina, I'll let you go first. Make your case for Aaron Donald for Defensive Player of the Year.
All right. Your Honor, Marcus Spears, the members of the jury watching NFL Live today, my opposing counsel, Ryan Clark, attorney at law, he's going to argue that his fellow Steeler, TJ Watt, bias, deserves the award based on normie stats like sacks and pressures, despite the fact that, as you just saw, my client, Aaron Charles Donald, is the actual best player who gets double, say, triple teamed at nearly twice the rate at TJ Watt, and it has accomplished just as much even though he plays on the inside. The point of Defensive Player of the Year is not to give it to a new player every year or the flavor of the month. It's to choose the actual best player, and I believe Aaron Donald should be rewarded for his extremely buff body of work. If you ask any general manager in the league right now, who is the player you would build your defense around, 99 out of 100, I realize there aren't 100 general managers, would absolutely say Aaron Donald. It's a no-brainer to me. He's not only the best player in football this season, he's the best defensive player in a generation.
Extremely buff body of work. We're going to let Ryan make his case. And once again, Marcus Spears will be the judge on this. Ryan, who's the Defensive Player of the Year?
Your Honor, as my opposing counsel has mentioned, Aaron Donald is many of those things. And I'm not here to disprove what Aaron Donald is. I agree with those things. I'm just here to prove what TJ Watt is. What TJ Watt is a guy who was in this same conversation last year, should have been with Chandler Jones and Aaron Donald and the eventual winner, Stephon Gilmore. He's a guy who is first in sacks, a guy who is first in pressure, a guy who is first in win rate. And listen, it's not about the problems you have to overcome. It's about how many times you overcome them, how many times you show up. And TJ Watt has actually shown up more than Aaron Donald this year. And I know that Aaron Donald is the best player. And if it was, we're going to give it to the best player every year award, Michael Jordan would have had 10 MVPs. LeBron James would now have about 14. That's not the way it worked. This year, TJ Watt plays on a better defense. TJ Watt is more influential in not only the run game, the pass game, as in rushing the passer, but also in defending the pass. And so, though Aaron Donald, yes, a generational talent. And yes, Aaron Donald, the best football player on earth, because I don't even count it when you say not quarterback. He's not the Defensive Player of the Year award. Aaron Donald is competing against Aaron Donald, and we all know that. But this year, the award belongs to TJ Watt. I rest my case. You two take a bow. Let's bring in Judge Swagoo to really figure this one out. That's what he looks like, the Judge Swagoo. Let's get to Marcus Spears. He's ready to match. Listen, guys, he might be at the barbershop. I'm not sure. But Judge Swagoo, who is the Defensive Player of the Year, who won this battle and made the best case?
Well, I like both arguments.
Bro, you look.
Judges are not supposed to laugh.
Curtain, dog. Bro, this you put on.
It's a curtain. It's a curtain. It is a curtain.
He's getting a haircut. It really is a curtain, guys.
Y'all, let me pick the person that won the damn argument. Okay. Listen, I like both arguments. I like both premises.
You won the argument.
I like what both of you guys. I like what both of you all went. But Ryan, you got to understand, man, I'm a former D lineman. I know the dirty work that Aaron Donald has had to do over his career, and he still continues to give his best effort. The point is, he's got better numbers now than T.J. Watt. And T.J. Watt has benefited from the fact that he plays on a defense that has been historically good. Now, with my Harley Quinn gavel, I'm going to end this case by saying Mina Kimes wins.
Yes!
Guess what? You know what? Guys, here's what happens, though. You guys discriminate against me because I'm not on the show Monday through Thursday. Mina can't even let me live on Twitter. She take a shot every Friday. I just send out a regular tweet. I just want to talk to the regular people. And then Mina comes, and then Harley Quinn judge with the curtain on takes Mina's side. This is it. This is my last Friday. I'm done. I'm a wrap.
As the bailiff in this whole thing, I demand that Marcus wears that outfit for the rest of the show. Outfit as in curtains, and keeps the gavel handy, because you never know, we might need it later. Okay, let's carry on here because we've got to get to some more stuff. Here's a look at this week's DraftKings $1 million winning lineup. No surprise to see Derrick Henry and Tyreek Hill on that list of players given their performances. So now time for DraftKings plays of the day. Field Yates joining us for that. And who are some of the best options in daily fantasy this week, Field?
Yeah, $1 million would go a long way, Laura, to upgrading Marcus's wardrobe. But I probably shouldn't poke the bear. He's a lot bigger than I am. But I digress. The quarterback that I've got my eyes on this week is Kirk Cousins in a great matchup against the Jaguars, who are already sort of talent short in the secondary. You multiply that by all of their injuries, as we saw last week with the Cleveland Browns. They had their way in the passing game. I suspect Kirk Cousins will be able to do whatever he wants with, of course, both Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson available this Sunday. And at running back, David Montgomery is a player that is never going to be super highly priced in daily fantasy because he's been inconsistent, not a high ceiling player, except for this week against the Detroit Lions, a bottom 5 run defense. And this much we know about David Montgomery. He's not going to be as explosive as guys like Alvin Kamara or Derrick Henry, but the volume is going to be there, not just as a runner, but also as a receiver. And then the key in daily fantasy, Laura, is to every once in a while differentiate from the crowd. You can't have the same lineup, the chalk lineup, that everybody else is talking about, which is why I've got my eyes on Henry Ruggs III this week for the Raiders. They play the Jets, who are incredibly bereft of talent in the secondary right now. Nelson Aguilar, a bit banged up for the Raiders. He'll play on Sunday, but I do think Henry Ruggs could have a shot or two at a big play that could make it a worthwhile daily play.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that all of you out there win $1 million with DraftKings in daily fantasy. Of course, the official partner for daily fantasy of the NFL. Thanks so much, Field Yates, for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up with Jared Goff coming off the loss in Week 12. Hear why McVay's pushing his quarterback to rise up to the challenge. Take a listen to this. And also the importance of that top seed in the NFC. We're going to be talking about who might get that top seed with all these people right here. You got Mina Kimes, Marcus Spears, Ryan Clark. What's up, guys? They're going to answer all the tough questions because that's what we do on NFL Live. And let's give you some game picks as well. That's coming your way, including Browns, Titans, and Rams, Cardinals. Fingers crossed our overall show record improves. Mina, first of all, give me a matchup to watch Sunday.
Well, in the Giants-Seahawks game, we hear a lot about DK Metcalf, deservedly so, but I got my eye on the cornerback who's defending him, James Bradbury, because he has quietly put together the best season of his career, has been an incredible free agent pickup for New York. He's got his work cut out for him this weekend, but if the Giants want any chance in this, he needs to shut down Metcalf.
Can the Atlanta Falcons do anything to slow down Hendrickson and Cam Jordan when they play the New Orleans Saints? They absolutely wrecked the game the last time these two teams met, and they're actually calling Matt Ryan, Cam Jordan's best friend in Louisiana, on the news. And so if you want to win this game, Atlanta Falcons, you better protect your quarterback.
Listen, first of all, at some point we're going to talk about these damn teams and their running backs. But right now, I'm talking about Jeffrey Simmons. Look, he is people sleeping on him. One of the better run defenders in the NFL, going up against one of the better rushing teams in the NFL. I cannot wait to see this battle in the trenches with number 98, Jeffrey Simmons against the Cleveland Browns.
Swaggo, you talked about those running backs. Maybe the most intriguing game of the weekend, Browns versus Titans. Couple really similar teams, some absolute powerhouse backs, though. And King Henry will stiff arm you in a heartbeat, so watch out. Nick Chubb, essential as a piece in this Browns offense and really part of their offensive identity. One of these teams, by the way, going to be 9-3 after Sunday. So rushing attack will be the focal point. And since the start of last season, Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb rank first and second in the league rush yards per game, 100-yard rushing games, yards after contact per rush, and yards above expectation per NFL Next Gen stats. Henry has the edge in most categories, but no one's been tougher to bring down than Chubb. Both defenses got to have their hands full on Sunday. Ryan, is Nick Chubb underappreciated in your mind?
Hell yeah, he's underappreciated. I mean, we forget how good this dude is. And because he missed some weeks here in the middle of the season, we acting like he ain't that boy. Listen, when Nick Chubb plays for the Cleveland Browns, they are two different teams, two different offenses. He goes out, they're number one in rushing. They fall to the latter 20s when he's on the bench or when he's on the pine or when he's in rehab. Nick Chubb runs over folks, he runs around folks, and he changes the physicality of the Cleveland Browns offense. And so when we watch this game, yes, we will marvel at Derrick Henry. We understand how big he is, how fast, how explosive. But the dude on the other side is a war daddy, too. It's going to be about these two dudes, and I can't wait to watch them run the football.
Ryan, you're absolutely right. Like, Chubb and Henry are 1 and 2 in every category in rushing, no matter how you slice it. They're like Federer and Nadal. If Federer and Nadal were extremely jacked and ran dudes over. We talk a lot about how great Derrick Henry is in the fourth quarter, right? Like, he goes nuts at the end of games. But Nick Chubb in the